Hi, friends. Laura Krumzek here with the Disney Slowdown, coming to you live with our Plan B plans for your Disney World vacation. If you have to be in Florida when everybody else has to be in Florida and you're worried about the lines being too long and you're looking for some alternative choices to those top tier attractions or maybe some ways to navigate those top tier attractions and avoid some of the crowds, that's what we're talking about. Last week, I did a series. No, last week, my video was about some outside of the box thinking instead of just getting a day ticket or a series of day tickets. And I have an update for you. I'm so excited. I was doing a little research, and as of June 1st, if you want to go to Epic Universe, which is Universal's newest theme park in Orlando, up to this point, unless you were an annual pass holder or a Florida resident, you were not allowed to just buy a single day ticket to Epic. Well, now you are. So if you want to go to Epic and you don't want to commit to the 3 days at Universal, you can just do 1 day at Epic. Caveat, you have to select the day that you're going, and they're probably going to have it open. So that's the danger with those specialty event tickets. If there's storms or whatever, uh, things don't close here in Florida. I mean, unless there's a direct hit for a hurricane, and even then they might only shut down for a few hours, check everything out, and then reopen. So that means no rope drop, or maybe they'll close early for, if a storm's supposed to come through late. So you just got to be mindful. Like, they're not going to close down for the day and just give you your money back. They're going to give you the experience that they can and close for whatever amount of time for safety, but they're not necessarily going to cancel. So be aware of that. But I am super excited. Now, again, with Epic, before we start talking about EPCOT, it is super hot. So if you have to be here in the summertime when it is hell's front porch right now, that park has no shade. So be aware. And not a lot of the park is indoors. It's not like there are a lot of opportunities for shows or anything inside. You have shops and you have dining, the quick service. There's a lot of quick service that's indoors. But as far as just places to linger, you're not really going to have that. You've got a few attractions that are indoor queues, which are great, but it's going to be a hot one in that park if you have to come in the summertime. So, you know what else I found? I don't look at my analytics and I don't study them probably as much as I should. But I did look at them today, and I discovered that 95% of the people who are watching my videos are not subscribers. And I understand you just kind of want to get a feel for who I am and the information that I'm putting out there. But I'm asking you that if you find it helpful, would you please subscribe? It helps me, and it helps me reach a goal. And it also helps me to know that the information I'm putting out there is actually something that people want. So comment, ask me questions. And it's Max. Hey, Max. Comment, ask questions, like, subscribe, share the video. Like, that tells me that, hey, this is something that people are interested in, and they know people who are interested in it. And so they are, they're hanging around for my videos, and I will make more content like that. That's the only indication that I have that this is something that you want. All right, so now we are going on to EPCOT. Thank you, Matt. You just joined. What's my favorite color, Kitty? Purple. Always purple. Always has been. Hope don't hold that against me. It's a great color. I used to call it Praple when I was little. My grandmother used to call it Praple even when I was, 30, 40 years old. She's like, oh, it's Praple. Of course, Laura's going to love it. Love my grandmother. Okay. So this Plan B series, in case you missed last week's video, I will link it at the end of this live after all is said and done. But we're talking about, what do you do if you have to come to Florida when everybody else is coming to Florida? And we're talking about the summertime when it is blazing hot, and even like Thanksgiving break. A lot of people have that off. Christmas break. You want to spend, Christmas in the most magical place on earth, but everybody else does too, and it is freaking busy. So how do you spend all that money to be there and still feel like you're getting out of it what you want to get out of it? Now, we're going to start with EPCOT, because if you have been around here at all, EPCOT is my favorite park, and I promise you, I will get you to love EPCOT. I can go to EPCOT and do absolutely nothing and have a great day. I love it so much. So we're going to talk about the top tier attractions in case you have never been to EPCOT, but you are planning a trip. Test Track is going to be open again, I believe, like in the middle of June. I don't think they've given us an actual date yet, but when that opens, it's going to go back on the virtual queue more than likely. Disney took everything off of the virtual queue, including Guardians. I'm not sure if I love that. Kitty's in Texas. Oh, that's awesome. My brother's in Texas. I've got friends in Texas, and Max is in North Carolina. I don't know if I've been. What's my favorite movie or show, Max? I mean, all-time favorite would have to be When Harry Met Sally. But I've got, oh, sorry, I'm laggy. But I mean, there's a lot of movies that I enjoy and that I can watch over and over again. So there's not too much that I don't enjoy. I like thrillers, not horrors. Suspense, mystery, rom-coms, documentaries, love documentaries. But yeah, I would have to say go back to When Harry Met Sally. So let's go back to EPCOT. Sorry. Kitty's from London. I thought you said, oh, you're in Texas, but you're from London. Oh, that's awesome. Are you visiting a park down there? There's a Six Flags down there. We used to love Six Flags. Have you been to Disney, Kitty? Like, seriously. I tell you what, I am sweating. I'm telling you, July showed up in April in Florida, and it has been just steamy. It's been 100 degrees up here, and I'm 3 hours north of Orlando. It's going to be a hot one this summer. So if you do have to come to Florida, you have to come to Florida. If you're planning a family vacation to Florida this summer, brace yourself. It's going to be really hot, which is another reason why I love EPCOT, because there are a lot of places to hang out indoors if you need to just get away from the heat. But when Test Track opens up again, it's going to be on the virtual queue. So if you don't know anything about the virtual queue, I did a short. I will go ahead and link that here as soon as this live is over, and I can go back in and add, the cards and stuff. I will link that, because that's something that you're going to want to study and get to know, because that virtual queue, I mean, it's gone in seconds. Like half a second, really. And I'm not sure how I feel about Guardians going off of virtual queue, because I used to be able to ride it every single time I got down to Disney. And I'm about 50% right now as far as the queue being short enough for me to wait. So I don't know. Jury's still out on if I'm upset or not about Guardians going off the virtual queue. So the top attractions in EPCOT. Test Track's going to be on the virtual queue more than likely. Guardians, Remy's, Frozen, and Soarin'. Those are the 4 attractions that are going to have the longest lines, the most popular. And Guardians, I think, is worth it. It's an amazing indoor roller coaster. It is the best ride on property. And I will say it is the best attraction at any amusement park that I have been to. And we had, before we moved from the Midwest, we were season pass holders to Six Flags for 3 years. with my little kids. And then we did Legoland, we did Wild Adventures up in Valdosta, Georgia. We have done Universal, Disney, SeaWorld this year. In case you're following along, we're like all things theme parks here. And it's the smoothest ride, and it is the best ride ever. Ever. So I think that one's worth it. I still personally don't want to wait any longer than 55 minutes. The one thing I did learn about EPCOT, which is not necessarily true at Hollywood Studios, which I found interesting. When it posts a ride, like the wait time at EPCOT, it was very consistently the wait, the pre-show, and going through the ride. So if it said 55 minutes, you would be off of the ride in 55 minutes. Where at Hollywood Studios, when I was testing the wait times, you were getting on the ride at the 55 minutes. So I'm not sure why that was inconsistent across the two parks. And I believe Disney Magic Kingdom was the same, where it was the full through the ride by the end of the wait time. I'm not sure why that is, but it's been consistent that way in EPCOT. So I would say I would even push, if it's my only trip, I would even push it a little further because it is the best ride. I'm kind of opposed to buying the single pass Lightning Lanes, spending more money to skip the line. And the multi-pass Lightning Lane, Guardians is not on that. All the other rides are in EPCOT, but not Guardians. As far as there's a strategy that you'll see out there too, and it's like get in line somewhere up to whatever closing time is. So usually EPCOT closes at 9 p.m. So getting in line at like 8:50, 8:59, and they will let you in and they will push it through. But the last time I was there and I was going to do that, everybody else had the same idea. And it was 8:40, I think. And there was a 90-minute. And I'm like, yeah, forget it. I'm out. I'll come back some other time. So that's not always going to work for you. Just so you know. Remy's, if your kids are big enough to go to, which season do I like more? Oh, that's hard, kitty. Because Disney has done a really good job of picking up the census. Like there used to be low census times, slower times, and Disney has taken those times and they've attracted like the sports teams for high school, the cheer teams, the dance teams, and frankly, with all those high schoolers running amok in the parks, it's not fabulous. Typically early April. It just depends on how Easter falls, because the week of Easter, and sometimes 2 weeks, like the week before Good Friday and then Easter and that week after, a lot of times those are spring breaks for some US schools, and a lot of people will come during that time. But if you go even the week prior to that, or the week after going into early May, I think that's kind of a sweet spot still. But those sports teams start coming like end of January, beginning of February, all through February. Then you've got spring break somewhere in there, usually the second week of March. The first week of March tends to be pretty decent, but then when spring break hits, like it gets crazy. So that's kind of my favorite times to go. And then of course I do like the fall as well, but you have to watch out for hurricane season. And then you've got all the Halloween stuff going on and the not so scary parties, and they're closing Magic Kingdom down early, and it's a whole thing. So those are kind of my favorite times. But sorry, let's go back. Remy's. I do have notes. I'm trying to stay on track, but I also want to help you and I want to answer your questions. So thank you for being on here and asking questions. If your kids are old enough, and willing to ride a ride by themselves, Remy's has a single rider line. can see it from like the alleyway. Once you turn the corner and then Remy is right there in front of you, it's on the left-hand side. If you see people in the building on that far left-hand side, then the single rider line is too long. Turn around and go do something else, come back at another time. But if you don't see people, then that's been a really good way to ride Remy's without waiting in line. That is also indoors. So if it's really hot, I expect it's going to be something that people utilize quite a bit because it goes right to the air conditioning, where the regular standby queue for Remy's is off to the side. It is shaded, but again, it's 100,000 degrees outside right now, and summer is only going to get worse. So that's one option for Remy's. You could still put that in your top tier. So learn the virtual queue for Test Track. Try the single rider line for Remy's. Guardians, you might just have to stand in line, catch it at the end of the day. I did notice too that it would take a little dip when people were trying to eat lunch. So 11:30, I mean, World Showcase really opens about 11. So 11:15ish to maybe 1 might be a little bit of a lull, jump in line. And that queue is also indoors. So is Test Track. But again, I fully expect that to go on virtual queue. I don't know if they'll have a standby for it or not. Frozen, okay. If you've got a kid that just loves Frozen, this ride is not all that. Stand in line to meet Anna and Elsa. Or if Frozen is the thing, skip Norway entirely. I know that's horrible. It's horrible to say. But at Hollywood Studios, do not miss the Frozen sing-along because that is hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. It's different every time. The Arendelle storytellers are up there just kind of amusing themselves, kind of sort of sticking to the script, but then they'll throw something in there, especially when they get a little slap happy. It's the best. I've gone twice in one day because it's like, it's hot. I don't want to stand in line. Let's go watch Frozen. It's so funny. So funny. So honestly, it's the exact same ride system that it was when it was Maelstrom, not themed to an IP, and nobody wanted to ride it. The ride's fun. It's just an inside boat ride, but it's not all that, and I don't think it's worth paying for and paying extra for, and I don't think it's worth waiting in an hour-long line. Just my 2 cents. Soarin' is fun. I enjoy Soarin', and the line is all indoors. Plus, you're in the land pavilion, so there's other things in there to do and to see, but you're in air conditioning at least. And they do have trivia up on the screens in the queue, so that's something to keep your kids entertained. I think Soarin' would be worth it. All right. I'm just checking over my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. My plan B, absolute favorite ride besides Guardians in the park is the Grand Fiesta Tour in the Mexico Pavilion. It hardly ever has a wait. The line, again, is at least indoors. It's dark in there, but it's just so much fun. It just makes me happy. And so I usually don't try to miss that one if I can. It's like a thing that we do. We go to Club Cool, we get our popcorn, we check the Guardians queue, we do Grand Fiesta Tour. Like, that's just one of the things that we do, you know? And so I wouldn't miss that. It's a blast. If you're there in the summertime, the Moana Journey Through Water is a great way for your kids to just kind of play and interact with the water. It is shaded there, at least. You got water splashing. You can play in the water, stick your hand in it. There's a little splash pad there at the end, too. We have a good time in Moana's, so that's something to keep the kids entertained. And of course, Figment. I love the Figment ride. I absolutely love Journey Through the Imagination with Figment, I think is the real name of what it's called, or the full name. Holy crap, I am sweating so bad. I think that is fun. It's nostalgic. It's been there since the beginning. You've got um you got Eric Idle from Monty Python, one of my faves. So I just think it's fun. I see a lot of throwbacks to movies that I grew up with, so I would recommend that one. Um Another one, oh, of course, if it's just rides are ridiculous and we're talking like Figment is usually a 5 minute, maybe a 15, but if Figment's pushing 25 or longer, then you know the park is packed and you might want to do something else. If you go to the Sea Pavilion, there's this huge aquarium and there's a scavenger hunt for the aquarium too. So it's fun for the kids. They can run around inside. You can sit down. I mean, last time my 17-year-old and I were there, they were feeding the manatees. We were just watching the manatees eat lettuce. Like, it was fun. We just sat down. They were talking about manatees and the rescue missions and where these guys have come from. And it was great. We just sat there. Again, we could go to EPCOT, do absolutely nothing, and be perfectly content. But that's a great place to go and get away from crowds. It's a little darker. It's air conditioned. It's a huge space. Kids love the aquarium. So that would be another one. And then of course you have, if your kids are allowed on electronics, which mine are not always, my 12 and 14-year-olds, we have to limit screens. There, oh my gosh, there is a DuckTales adventure around World Showcase. Those are fun. You're in each of the different country pavilions. They'll take you to different locations. There's a little story and a little cartoon. It's punny. It's amusing. It takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes per each country. You don't have to do them all. I mean, you could do one, in England while maybe you do some shopping or you're looking around, I don't know, you're standing in line getting fish and chips. I don't know what you want to do, but let the kids kind of be entertained with the World Showcase DuckTales adventures. And if they're not allowed to have screens, which I totally understand, don't worry about that. Let them collect the kid cots. The kid cots are a blast. You go to each country, there's a little postcard that they can collect. And then once they get all 11 countries, then there's a little, like a world traveler postcard. But it's fun. They can sit down, they can color them. There's pin trading if you wanted to spend money for them to pin trade. But understand, you don't want to put more money into it. You just are looking for things to entertain your kids while you're there. One of my favorite suggestions for EPCOT is to challenge your kids to try something new. Our kids tend to be like, oh, I'm only going to eat certain types of foods. Well, them to one a little bit outside of the box, savory snack, and then you a sweet snack. There's plenty of sweets there. Even if you go during a time when there is not a food festival, you have 11 countries to taste things at. Like, try something just a little different. Even if it's like a kebab from Morocco or the trio of hummus dips and the bread. I can't even think. The bread. I am sweating. It didn't bring my water out here either. This week, later on this week, probably on Thursday, because we got a busy weekend again, I'm going to go live again. We're going to talk about EPCOT, and I'm going to talk about some of my favorite snack items, because I want you to love EPCOT. But I will do that for every park. Next week will be another park, and so on and so forth. I'll go live twice and do my plan B for rides, and then the second time I will go with my favorite snacks. Because there's a lot of crap out there about Disney and, oh, you have to eat this, and some of it just really isn't worth it. Like, if it's your only time coming to Disney, you don't want to waste your money on something that you could have gotten somewhere else at home. And I'm talking specifically about the Cheshire Cat Tail at Magic Kingdom. It's literally the chocolate bread, the chocolate croissant at Panera, if you are familiar, or any kind of pastry shop that sells a chocolate croissant with purple and pink icing on it. It's not all that. It's definitely not worth how much ever they charge you for it. I don't know, $7 maybe. And it's getting smaller. I feel like it's getting smaller. So I wouldn't do that. But anyway, that's just me. I'm giving it to you real because I understand if you're planning your one trip and you want to experience it, but you don't want to waste your money on stuff that's not worth it, I'm here for you because I'm just kind of like not holding anything back. All right. I have been on here a lot longer than I intended, but I think that was all that I had for EPCOT. So I will see you in a couple of days to talk about snacks at EPCOT that are worth it. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, would you please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell? Well, hi, the dummies. Really? Really? Love that. But yeah, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, share this video to a friend. That tells me that this content was valuable to you and I will make more like it. All right. So until next time, we'll see you in a couple days. Talk more about EPCOT snacks. Thanks for tuning in.